Good morning, everyone. It's the 6th of February and it's a Monday, so welcome to Monday-itis. Not long till the next weekend. And a few things going on here across the board, which I'll talk about. Simon's up there, Kirsten and Abelish both heading north, Goog's happy, Ian's around the Bounties, and got some good news on Guy as well. But before I go there, I just want to show you something that is actually changing. This is Cape Horn here. This is on Windy. And I just, the last, probably 6 to 12 hours, there's been this system going through between just at the bottom of Cape Horn. I don't know whether anyone noticed it. We didn't talk about it on our tracker, but it's really quite intense. And, it's not just about getting around Cape Horn. There's often stuff in this part of the world, once they turn the corner, that becomes just as dramatic. So it's something to think about. So this is forecast wind, 47 knots. This was sort of hours ago, and wind gusts up around 70 knots. And this is forecast gusts, so they can all, do all sorts of things. And it's taken a while to get through there as well. It was building back here for a while, and then, it took a bit to get across. So anyway, it's never over until the fat lady sings back up in Les Sables d'Olonne. Anyway, we'll carry on regardless, come back to the tracker, and let's start off here with Guy. We did send Guy a message, see if all okay. He was on the assumption that his coverage wasn't continuing after January the 31st, which is why he hadn't been tweeting. And we just clarified it with him. We thought he understood. He might have missed it before, that we don't sign off on him until he makes the longitude of Hobart. So it's still ongoing. Anyway, and so he reported in and said all's good. He's happy. He's carrying on. And we're watching his course, and I said to Jane a couple of hours ago, the guy's heading up now. Maybe he's going to Hobart, or maybe he's just following the weather, because he's doing pretty good time, doing 5.9 knots, last 24 hours, 146 miles. And then I thought, maybe because he's talked about coming up here, going through Cook Strait to stay high, to get away from the weather. But we just got a message from Julie, his wife. They're chatting because you can freely use his satellite phone. And Julie let us know that Guy is now on his way to Hobart. So that's his destination. That's all we know at this stage. I'm not sure plans after that, of course. And just to give you a distance, he's about 300 miles or something. I'll just pick this up and just see and give you an ETA based on the weather. He's 250. So he's 250 miles out. Let's have a look at the weather now for Guy going forward, and I can give you a rough ETA. So he's got a good slipstream at the moment, just hanging on with that lot. It's blowing at the moment it's probably blowing 30, gusting 35, 4 metres, 5 metre seas, and it's going to back off a little bit, but that will still keep him going. He's good to go with that. That's in 24 hours. So in the next 24 hours with this breeze, he's going to be halfway there. So that'll be Tuesday night. Local time, and then if we look at the next day coming through to Hobart, that's that's going to slow him up a bit. Okay, so that's Wednesday night. He's probably only going to make half that distance Wednesday night. So it looks as if he might be in on sometime on Thursday. Let's just see what it looks like midnight. Yeah, there's a slight headwind, so I would say maybe Thursday afternoonish. He can use his motor. He's got plenty of fuel. He topped up in Cape Town. So sometime Thursday, I think we'll see him. Bad timing to get to Hobart. The Wooden Boat Festival is about to start on Friday. And there's like 400 boats turned up, 4 square riggers, a few 100,000 people coming in. But anyway, we'll sort that out later on. So anyway, he is on his way to Hobart. All's well on board, and he'll be happy to get in and make plans and get organised. So Guy's looking okay for the next few days. And we'll look forward to seeing him. That'll be fun. We fly on Saturday, so we'll actually get to see him. Okay, so over here with Ian, the weather's done exactly what it looked like it was going to do yesterday. Ian's heading up towards the zone, 5.4 knots, 83-mile day, not too bad. Beam reaching in pretty solid, consistent winds. He'll like that in 24 hours. He's still in the breeze. He'll ride straight across this, so he should be making 140-mile days. So that's a pretty solid day's run. On the 8th, the next day, light tailwind. He'll slow down a bit, but he's still doing okay. He's got 2 days of pretty good sailing. Third day, let's just have a look. Yeah, the breeze is back, all blowing from behind him. So that's pretty good. He'll keep doing pretty well with that. I probably should have mentioned Jeremy then and followed the same weather, but I'll do it specifically for him now. 6.5 knots, 142 mile day. Great sailing breezes there coming from the north-west, or pretty much north. And by the look of it, there's another day. It's going to go light, but still the right direction. Nice sailing for the 7th, and for the 8th, going to go light. It's going to swap over there, so there'll be a transition. That could mean there's a bit of rain there, maybe, but he doesn't need water because there's a bit of rain there. You can see that because it's unstable. So there's a lot of water here, but he doesn't need water. Ian might. Ian's pretty cool too, but there is a bit of water there. So all interesting stuff. So the next few days for Jeremy all looks pretty good. Okay, so he come across to Captain Goog and enjoying the ride. Nice breeze behind him. And let's have a look at the sea state for him. It should be quite benign. Oh, it's pretty solid, maybe 4 metres, 4 and a bit metres, but certainly nothing dramatic there because it's a very nice sailing breeze. That's probably looking like about 20 knots, gusting 28, something like that. So he'll be happy with that. Get a few things up, 5.8 knots and 91 miles in the last 24 hours. So, sorry, I forgot to put the weather back. That's not today's weather. This is today's weather. Similar scenario. Very nice sailing. So, and come forward a bit here. For tomorrow, same again, a little bit stronger, so we'll go a bit faster. And on the 8th, we come through, backing off again a little bit, but all of it's keeping hull speed. He'll be doing his 140 miles a day, so that's the key element to get to the Horn and not waste time. You don't want to be stuck out here. It gets windy down the bottom. So Goog's looking okay as well, and nothing to report really on his tweets or anything either. So the situation with Abelish and Kirsten, we're in regular contact. We've given them plenty of information. They can actually ring us anytime for an update, a detailed update on what's happening, but it's not due to start affecting them until for the next 24 hours. So the game plan is at 2200 Zulu today on the 6th. We start giving them 12 hourly reports, and those reports detail forecast wind direction and strength for their estimated position. Okay. We walk that forward, each 12 hours. So we cover 24 hours. We give them 24-hour forecast. So what they're expecting at the time of the forecast, what they're expecting 12 hours ahead, and what they're expecting 24 hours ahead. They get that updated every 12 hours. It gives wind direction, strength, gust forecast, strength, and sea state, and also barometric pressure. They've already been given the projected centres of this big system when it comes across, so they can see exactly where it is. And I suggested to them that as long as they're above 47 south, they're in a good position. Abelish, he rang today. We had a good chat. He's very mindful of keeping the boat in very good condition. He's decided to go he's going to level out at somewhere between 46 and 45. He's gone high. I'd said to them before there will be an impact right up to 45 degrees south. So, the pressure system itself will go right up there. So he's going to stay top end. We haven't heard from Kirsten what her game plan is, but you can see here on the track she's hightailing it out to get to the point where there's the least impact. It's interesting from our perspective because when you're giving these guidelines, you don't want to give them too far because their objective is down here at Cape Horn. And so by saying 47 south, what I've done is I've also given them a projection of the type of weather they're likely to expect at 47 south, and it running like forecast winds of 40 knots, gusting 55 and about 8 metre seas, which is manageable. And the reason I give them that is because that's an option, because when they get up here, they've got to turn around and come down again. And the higher north they go, the longer it's going to take to get down. And also you can see they're making easting, and this is not a nice area to get trapped when you have to come back out and down and around. So it's completely their choice, and they know that. They're making their own decisions. So anyway, we told them stay above 47. The impact's it finishes pretty much at 45 south. And so that's what they're doing. So if we look at Abelish's position right now, come on, it's not telling me. Okay, Abelish is currently at 46.18, so he's not crossed 46 at the moment. He's 18 miles south of the latitude of 46 degrees, so he's still going up, but he's nearly there. And if we look at Kirsten, she's on 46.49, so she's topped out above 47, and she's heading up still as well. So she's probably doing the same. She's making 6.4 knots. Daily runs not so much. It says 26 miles. That's because it's a VMG, like to the mark, and it's only done 26 miles forward progress towards Cape Horn. Even though she's been travelling well over the ground. Abelish is the same. He's only made 57 nautical miles in the day towards Cape Horn, but he's covering good ground. So having explained all that, this is 40 degrees south here, this is 50 degrees south, so you can see 45 is halfway in between. So I'm going to roll the weather across and you'll see again more or less what's happening with this as it goes through. So the time has still got a fair way to go. It's about 24 hours before it starts to impact them. And Abelish will be the first one to come through. So at this point here, that's when we put Abelish online with all the weather forecasting. That's assuming he was in that position, but it's not. It's like quite a bit ahead. So he'll be over about here and only just starting to get the effects of this pressure system, and he'll have all the latest weather. You'll see Kirsten will get the same weather at the same time, but she'll be up here, and she's quite a bit further advanced to the east, so it's going to be less impact. Now you can see there, this is about 2:30 in the he'll be further across. He'll start to cop it about here. It's still going to blow hard. This is going to be 40s and maybe gusting 50, but not for very long. And then you'll see here, so 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, 5 hours. Then it swings and there'll be a decrease. It's not a bang front, it's a relaxed front. You can see there's less wind here. It'll swing to the west. And the objective then, Abelish will be a bit higher, it'll be up here somewhere. The objective then is to ride that wind and sea change, and hopefully everything after that will be consistent and not dangerous seas. So you can see as it's rolling through, it's holding a westerly all the way, and he'll be just above that blue. He'll be higher up and he'll still maintain in the purple rather than the edge of the blue. So that's why they're going up there. He'll be somewhere up here and he'll scoot the edge in a westerly and have the least amount of impact. The waves at that point, it's starting to get up around 8 metres. Okay, so this is 8s, 9s, and it'll probably be heavier, but at least the direction and the type of the waves should be manageable. That's the whole point of this exercise, to get them up high. Okay, and you can hang on. And remembering, Kirsten will be the same. She'll be higher than where she is now. Hopefully she'll maintain the purple. Where she is right now is scooting along the edge of that blue, and she should just clip that. Now, if they hadn't have done anything, this game plan, they would have been in this zone here, somewhere down here, coping with this sudden change, rollover, and potentially a lot more confusion in the sea, right? And that's what we're trying to avoid. Now, you'll see the other thing that happens is I'll leave the cursor. Hang on, I'll get it started. I'll leave the cursor and you watch what happens here. When you keep rolling it across, the centre starts to move around, but everything's rotating around. It's not going over fast at all. You're sort of stuck in it for some time. Okay, and that's the difference. And so the further down they were here, the longer they're in it, and it's still swinging. The wind is swinging all the time, going right round to southwest, not like it was up here where it just rolls across the top and stays westerly. So that's the purpose of all of that. As soon as it's over, they'll jibe across and start heading down. Their position when they balance off, remember there's a strong northwesterly coming, they'll actually turn and run with that, so they'll lose a little bit of their northing, but not so dramatic. So I won't worry about showing you windy on this yet because we don't know where they're going to finish up, but I think everyone's pretty aware of what they're trying to do. Simon's looking good. If I pull this back here, he's making great progress and he's pretty happy. Everyone's waiting for him, so that's all good, and not a lot more I can say about that. Otherwise, he's doing 2.9 knots at the moment. That's because there's not much wind, and the forecasting for him over the next period as he closes the coast, it's still going to, I'll just blow it up and show you, he's still got a way to go. Okay, here's Portamont up here. Okay, so there. He's got 250 miles still to go. Okay, so remember that. And he's probably going to make 80 miles a day for a while. Let's see. So it's a little bit quiet, but all in the right direction. It'll keep pushing him along, and he's got a breeze to keep sailing happily. He'll have spinnakers up and things like that. So that's 1 day away. So he's got a day very moderate there. You've got the big system coming up behind here for Abolition Kirsten, but he's still sitting there. So this is the next day. So that's 767. Okay, so that's the second day. So he's going to be up there in that hollow. So he's still not going to be there, and this system's going to catch up, but it's just going to give him a kick, which is good. So by this time he's up here. He's looking for this breeze to keep going. Certainly no issue of any storms or anything. It all just rides him in, and he's going to get a gentle approach. And he'll probably start motoring. In fact, I'm sure he will. As long as he can start his motor, he's got a problem, but he knows that when he's getting ready to use it, he'll short the starter motor with a screwdriver across the solenoid at the top of the starter motor, and it should kick over. The key is broken off or corroded into the starter, so he's got a little bit of an engine problem, but there's no concerns. He's doing a great job, and that big weather is not going to impact him. He's too far north, so all is good. A bit of a long one. Look forward to seeing Guy, and everyone seems